Nazareth includes many other groups of refugees, not only from Saffuriyya, but the biggest refugees group in Nazareth is Saffuriyya. And that's why the neighborhood where I grew up and I live is Saffuriyya neighborhood. Saffuriyya comes from the word Saffuriyya. You know, there is a security, they have electrical gate, blah, blah, blah. This is something, something that from the wall too that they are building between West Bank and here. So walls and gates will not help. The memory is stronger than this and then that. And in the end, you must face it. We are from here.
My name is Amin Muhammad Ali, born in Tzippori, in 1935.
أنا بعرف شو شعور الإنسان لما يفوت على مقبرة.
I know how you feel when you enter into a cemetery.
And I am so sorry because we are the first place visit today. والسبب هو إنه في محلين بصفوري إحنا إذا بنكون فيهم ما حدا بيسألنا اللي هو المقبرة والدير. وإذا بمحل ثاني كثير بيسألنا.
He is sorry that to first take you to a cemetery, but the reason for that is because we are allowed only to be in two places here, the cemetery and the monastery, without being questioned.
Many questions. They know me, but all of the time, who are you? What's your name? What do you want? Where you go? I say to him, I want to come back.
I want to come back.
بلدي هي. صفوري لغاية سنة 1948 كان فيها ما يقارب 7000 إنسان.
Until 1948, Saffuriyya had 8,000 people. 7,000 people.
It's the first
أكبر
biggest
قرية بالجليل.
village in the Galilee
واللي أكبر منها
and the
بفلسطين
second
كله.
best in the whole of Palestine. They built these, pine trees, first to cover the war crimes, second because these trees were the new immigrants will feel connected to them because the new immigrants came from East Europe and they wanted to plant something that will be familiar for them and make them feel at home. So these pine trees were planted all over Palestine. Wherever you see like these big forests, it means that there was a destroyed village. And they built them so artificially and so thin next to each other. Okay? But you see here that it's not so thin because few years ago they cut these trees because a lot of fires were happening in the Carmel in Haifa. That's why you see here some trees were chopped up because the way they build the trees make it very easy for the fire to catch.
The trees were close together.
We're very close together. So this is why you see here they make them more this, and this is why you see the rubbles there of the homes.
Stone.
Of the stones, the homes.
هدول الأحجار من البيوت.
من البيوت طبعا.
These stones are like the house.
Yes.
They also got rid of the cactus trees as well. But what's special about cactus trees is that they come back.
But I can remember the first times I had some kind of confrontation with the people living in the ruins of the village. Because the first settlement was built on the ruins of the village was built in 49, right after they destroyed most of the village, although they didn't ruin it right after the invasion and the occupation. Some of the houses were destroyed in even 1955. And I asked them, the people there, that my grandparents are from here, why you bring the police? You think, okay, will not help you that you think you want to tell them that I'm a thief. I'm not a thief. I know you are afraid of facing the truth, but this I can understand. But why you bring the police? I'm not afraid of your police. You are afraid from the story. The story is frightening for you, I know. The common story that I heard that those who didn't have money, one of the people who had money from the village, he just talked to the owner of the land where the neighborhood is located now in Saffuriyya, in Nazareth, and he just gave them money and told him that this family should have a house, and I'll give you the money, just give them the land. And that's how families started to live in the same place. But it was very hard in the beginning. For example, my parents, but I know that others suffered more even. Like 3 families lived in 1 room and a half. 3 families with my grandparents, my uncles, 2 uncles, my brother, my father. They lived in a room and a half, like, with some animals. I can see it from our balcony. I can see the ruins of the village, the hill and the castle on the top. But from the neighborhood, on the top hill, we can see the village.
What effect do you think that had on people living there and the way that they...
It varies, like for me, like from bitterness, when I think about refugees who live in the refugee camps in Lebanon and Syria, I say to myself that I live in an easier life than them, but I carry their story, and I will still carry their story because I know that they suffer more than me. Although some other people say that for us, and I hear this from people from Saffuriyya, that for us it's harder because we can see it, we can see the ruins, we cannot go back. But I think different, and I think that this gives me strength to continue with this struggle in order to reach to a point where I can say I've done the thing that I should do for those people who are suffering, who just want to be close or maybe have some soil from the land. But I'm still here. I didn't give up asking for the right to return for these people, for our people, for every refugee in the whole world. And this gives me strength.
نتأمل إن نستقبلكم مرة ثانية وإحنا في صفورية راجعين على صفورية، بس تكون قريب جدا، مش يعني بعد 50 سنة.
بدك تشوفها أنت.
على فكرة.
سنة جميلة. My hope, my wish is that you would come here again when the people of Saffuriyya have come back, and he had come back. And soon, not like
another 50 years.
in another life, soon.
أنا مقتنع في العودة.
I'm convinced that return will come true. Return.
بس ما حدا يسألني عن التاريخ.
Don't ask him about the date when.
بنيها على قضيتين.
His conviction is based on 2 things.
أول قضية هي لا مستقبل للعقلية الصهيونية في هذه المنطقة.
1, there is no future for the Zionist mentality in this part of the world.
لأنه هذه العقلية بتحمل بذور الفناء.
Because this Zionist mentality carries within it the seeds of destruction.
والعديد من الإمبراطوريات مرقت عن هذه الأرض كلها راحت وإحنا بقينا.
Several empires have ruled this land, and all of them are gone, but we remain.
الأمر الثاني حتى أكون صادق.
And the second point,
إذا مش على زمان أولادي.
if this doesn't happen, it will happen during the time of my own children.
وإذا مش على زمان أولادي على زمان أحفادي.
And if not during the time of my children, during the time of my grandchildren.
أما إحنا راجعين وبنعزمكم لعندنا.
But we are certainly returning, and we invite you to come.